Hi, we're Bonnie and Greg Dixon with Storyvan TV, and here we're with Carolyn Williams for My Cord. And we know Carolyn through the Happy Neighborhood Project, and we're going to talk about ways to use some networking tips.
Yes, it's very exciting. Carolyn is just a love. She's a very giving woman. And what she does, and I'll just say in a snippet before we start, is she knows her stuff. So the For My Card, using that and your networking is going to create success. So Carolyn, give us a few things that you learned with the networking and using For My Card.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the kind words. I'm so happy to see y'all. And yes, we were our happy neighbors together in the Happy Neighborhood Project. And I'm a networking nerd, love to network. And we had a print company we just still have it for 36 years now. About 8 years ago, I was going to be the president of a chapter, and I wanted to be a really good president for this chapter. So I was going to buy a hole punch, little tiny hole punch, and some little keychains. And as visitors and guests came to visit, whether all the people in our chapter were there or not, I'd be able to hand out all of their cards at once. And so I was just saying goodbye to my family, heading to the craft store. My husband stopped me and said, "Well, would you just give me a day, maybe two? Let me try to do something." And he created this digital business card. And then he did one for everyone in the chapter and put it all on one page. So all I had to do was text the entire page to our visitors and guests. And then we could follow up and thank them for their time that they spent with us that day. So been kidded a few times about, did your husband create an entire business just to keep you out of a craft store? And I didn't think of it. I think it might have been right. And over time, back then it was it looked just like the front and the back of every person's business card. So it kept their brand, their logo, but it was a touch to call, touch to email. And then you could text it, email it, share it on social media, airdrop it. And a teenager said, "Well, what about a QR code?" Okay, let's do that. And then, "Hey, can you make it go directly to contacts?" Okay. It was like, the answers were always yes. And then back to the drawing board. And, we had this big notepads where For My Card was and where we wanted it to be. And it's so much different now. It's a much easier, user-friendly way to do it. We were doing a lot of the heavy lifting before, but now we show people how to navigate their account. Because of our graphic arts background, my husband also made sure that everyone had the scalable vector file for the QR code that they can take off their account and put on all of their other print collateral or backgrounds.
What a value then for people to be able to share this card. I had an experience. It was just last weekend, and a friend of mine was using it at a trade show, and he was thrilled to be using it at a trade show. Made it so easy to connect to people. Like we said, "Hey, let me text you my business card." And it was more than just a business card. It was his story. And that goes much deeper than just shoving a card in someone's face. I think it's the new age. It's the new way. And again, we don't have little pieces of cardboard flying about, and then we lose it. And a lot of them you couldn't write on because they were shiny.
Yeah. Somebody said they packed Post-it notes because they couldn't write on the cards.
Yeah. So blessing for your husband to think of it. And you created this is a really cool story, because you have a family business that's been serving for, you said, 36 years.
Right. The kids will talk about once they were going to kindergarten, they had to go by the shop. It was big industrial buildings off the interstate and do something. I don't know what I was thinking as a mother. My husband, it's very important. They should have a work ethic. So take for school and have them empty the trash bins, or something, do something. And they would. And I was listening to one of our sons talk the other day about, oh yeah, I was in elementary school shoveling papers around, or watching how the press worked, learning how to cut paper down, and the importance of the math involved, which if you appreciate and love on all of your people that do printing and have to take large pieces of substrate and cut it down and make them smaller, because you know what they also think about is what is the width of the blade. So yay, smart people print math.
Wow,
So,
that's really interesting.
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think,
go ahead.
yeah, I think 16 is a magic number, isn't it?
Well, it's if you are working for somebody else, that
Yeah.
if you're choring around your family business.
Yeah, no, I was saying, and isn't when you're planning out the use of the paper and all that stuff, there's a bunch. Yeah, I've done that, all that stuff where you figure out how many things you want on your sheet of paper and your card stock, and then the width and then all the gap between the edge.
If you're going to be a full bleed.
Exactly. Speaking of work ethic, working with your son, Jude, that was a pleasure. I would reach out to him, and it was really within minutes. He would get back to me, and we could to work on the card to make it better, because I really was a newbie at it, and he guided me. And then, but when I was in a hurry, he just says, "Let me do that for you." And but it was interesting. All days and times, and we were on 3-hour difference, but the customer service was profoundly good. So you taught him well to be
Yeah.
good customer service. Yeah. Tell us some of the different professions that can use my card and the different applications for it, other than just say basic networking.
It is people involved in multi-level marketing get great success from it. Actually, what you said about your friend and that it worked so well for him, thank you, because that will fuel me for days and weeks, because that's our mission and vision is very simple. Let's help people get what they want. Help that they want to get their business going and growing and get their message out there. And my favorite thing is then we get to celebrate the win. So hearing the stories come back. Yes. But many applications. So back to multi-level marketing, when they're building their team, it helps for that, because they can have a button for building the team. When they come across people that are interested in the products or services they might have, they know they're going to go directly to theirs. Have you ever met somebody, had strike up a conversation, found it so interesting, like, oh, I can't remember her name, but I remember what she does. I'll just go straight to the website and try out some of the products. Well, lost the sale and possibly a repeat customer. So it definitely goes to their page. They'll get the commission, and they can spotlight things, right? They might want to just take a page off of their catalog and talk about a seasonal item or an upcoming speaking engagement. So it's so easy to go in and update. So businesses of any sort, we see great success with people with multi-level marketing, people in the trades, because they take that QR code and add it to their decals and car wraps and things of that nature, or put it on a door if they have a storefront. And when they're closed, people can still shop at their store or make a reservation at a restaurant, put the menu on. If you have the For My card, sometimes they'll put a special on there. So I'm thinking of a mortgage company that has apply here. So they have their application right. Many times we're looking at those, beautiful homes on the market, and we're not qualified yet. It can be a little disappointing for some people. So go get qualified before you get, hopes dashed. Some of the things that are surprising, we've done a big, if they were physical, there'd be a big stack of them for stand-up comedians. These are national touring stand-up comics. And then they'll ask us to make them a banner too, to put on their stage. And then just put it off to the stage. You can hit the QR code from any seats in the theater. They do not put their personal cell phone numbers on there, though. They have email, tour dates, merchandise, YouTube channel, and they're able to get a bigger audience that way. That's kind of fun. And politicians has been
politicians were surprised me. Yeah.
That people are running for office. If they have, this is a fine gentleman running for Secretary of State in Georgia. And what if Mr. TJ thought, I should have put one more thing on that printed piece of advertising that I had. So if this was digital and on a For My card, not only can we share it over and over, but he can edit it. His team can edit it. Once he's elected, he'll be able to continue to stay in contact with his voters and keep them up to date with the good work that's happening. So it's just a direct and easy way, and very inexpensive, super economical as well. Environmentally friendly. Who hates that? Nobody hates that.
And speaking of not only environmentally friendly, but the cost per use is less. I mean, it's ridiculously inexpensive to have it, because nowadays to have print, which is wonderful, but it does cost quite a bit now to get, some nice business cards. Whereas the For My card, what would it be? $4? How much? No, $5 a month, maybe.
It's it's $69.99 for the year, or
Yeah,
$6.99 a month.
yeah. So inexpensive. It'd be like what, less than $2 a week.
And but we know what people spend on business cards, and that's kind of what was getting on my husband's nerves a little bit, because he would, first of all, printers are not keeping the lights on by printing business cards, but it's something that people were used to. It's been around for centuries and centuries. It goes way, way back. The calling card. So they order a box of cards, and then I changed my cell phone number. They throw them away. Our company rebranded, got a reprint. So there's all these, we kept seeing that, or I'd come back from networking events and there'd be writing, as you said, sometimes, oh, that's not my address anymore. We moved offices, and just go right on there For My card, change it. Some people change careers. You open it and you can see what they're doing.
That was me. I had many different iterations of business cards, and I'd find old ones once in a while. Make me laugh.
These are some old ones that I have sitting around here.
Yeah.
I'd be curious how many people are still doing these, what they said here. I know there's a few of them on here. I have one for my friend. It was her third or fourth job ago. So this way we could always keep it to know what each other's doing.
Yeah. So what are some really cool tips that you found in networking? Because you run some networking events yourself. Share with us a couple tips for the people listening of how they can be not only better, but be able to share that information without people backing up. In the old days, people would shove a card in your face and you go, oh, okay. What are some cool things and cool ways that you can use the For My card so people are leaning forward and wanting your information?
It keeps it as that same professional situation as trading the card. We wanted that to be that. We didn't want it to be like if you imagine pushing someone into a website, feels like you're pushing me into your store kind of thing. So we wanted to make sure we kept to that brand, but then using it for networking, it's so easy to drop in like a chat box. And I keep a shortcut. I have a keyboard shortcut on all my devices. So I just have to hit a couple of keystrokes and it populates with a sentence and the link to the For My card. So that makes it super easy. And also when people first become part of the For My card community, we're like, give it to everyone that loves you. Show them how to save it. It's easy. When you open it, there's an add to contacts button, and the add to contacts button opens the contacts app on the device. Most people are running around with these in their hand, right? We won't leave home without these, but we may leave home without our actual wallet,
or a husband.
I know I'm missing something. They're always easy to make a referral. So if everyone that loves you and is a happy client already has it in the conversation, I actually don't, and this might tell me if this is true for y'all, I tend to make more referrals outside a formal networking situation. When you're in the actual networking situation, give us buzzwords so that when we're sitting on the beach with a group of friends and somebody says something like, oh, I just can't seem to, I thought I slept funny and now it's been a week and a half and my neck still hurts. Or I'm like, oh, I know someone that can help you with that. You really need to know Bonnie Dixon. So having it on as many platforms and shared, a great way to use For My card. If you're at an event, take some pictures, post them, drop the For My card in there. We were at a wine tasting, having a ball. Greg, you and I were just talking about wine. Having a ball, and my girlfriend, it's her. She's the distributor for the wine. So as we're commenting on which ones we like the best and what paired well, I dropped her ForMa card in there in the middle of the night. She's like, she gets up the next day. She goes, I had a wine order from someone I do not know about 2 a.m. So do you know this? And we're laughing. We're like, yeah, they must have seen the post and thought, okay, my friends like it. I'll try it. So,
very cool.
Give us buzzwords when you're networking. So you may not get the referral at a networking event, but the idea is to build those relationships, help each other out. And I was thinking about mentally, we just carried all of the people with us as we go through. Have you ever had somebody tell you, I walk into a room of network, yeah, those people can't do anything for me. And you're like, oh, but did you find out every single person that they know?
Yeah.
You just never know who someone else. So.
One strategy is to make an appointment just to exchange notes with somebody later, even if it doesn't seem like you're a client for each other, just to know how you can refer other clients to them.
Exactly. I remember
I also love the send my card or the ForMa card because a lot of times I'll meet someone in the networking and you're thinking, okay, they did this or that. And then I even meet them later. But to have the ForMa card where you can read about them and their story, who they are, their essence, it helps me remember them as well. So it cements it in, because if we're meeting a lot of people, our brains actually can't store it all. So it's a great storage system for your own story. And then you can always make a note to yourself of who they are and their story. If they have ForMa card as well, go, oh, that's who they are. That's what they do. That's where I met them.
I'll take a selfie with someone after I send the digital business card over. And I was like, hey, are you up for a selfie? We'll both remember what day and where we met. And
perfect. That's a great tip.
Yeah, even if you're doing something digitally and virtually, you can still do the same thing. And
exactly.
When you go back and remember again. Some people don't put a lot of content, and some people do. Some people use it as when they're looking for a job, and then they can go back in and change it out.
That you just nailed it there. If you're a student getting ready to graduate, what a great thing to have a ForMa card, because that looks so professional to a future employer.
If they don't have a logo and that sort of thing, like you said, it's Jute Williams' favorite thing. Mac, he loves it. Bruce is excellent at it as well, to open a Zoom call of some sort and then help step by step, because I equate it to, like, if you had the first time you opened an online account and you're like able to put pictures, a little video, and all these things you can do, we kind of had to figure it out on our own. These guys are so good at it. They're great. I'm good. I'm clunky compared to how slick they are, but they love it. She was just saying it's my favorite thing to do. As you know, you've met him, it can be a little serious. And I was laughing. I was like, are you being sarcastic? I go, no, it's my favorite thing to do. Good to know. So we love to do that, and it cuts down the time of having to watch tutorials or even read about it. So we're happy to give that.
Yeah, exactly.
So should we take a look at the website?
Yeah, let's look at your website here.
So we can play the little video.
Let's do.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So there's quite a lot of information on the website there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can just talk a bit about it, Carolyn.
Thanks. Yes, the process would be to create an account. So it's at the top, and then it opens up a short form. And then just like any internet account, it's going to ask to verify the email address. Then it goes to, it has a username and password, go to payment. And then from there, you can contact us directly. Some people, it's just real intuitive. They get it, they do it. Some people, just want to get a lay of the land. They want to like a little tour, like we were talking about before. And then some people, there is actually professional graphic art software connected to it too. They wanted to go in and go that deep, but it's usually put together within about 30 minutes or so when all the links are ready. And we do love meeting, people. And I referred to community because we are building a community. We host speed networking twice a month, and regulars are coming, and relationships have been formed, and business has been passed, and that's exciting. And now there's a feature, added value feature. It is, we are a flat rate. It's not, there's nothing, if you really want this, it's only one price. Can create groups. We can create our own groups. So maybe you have a networking group, or you have people that you refer on a regular basis. That's just in a particular category, say trades. If you're a realtor, that group will populate with their For My cards. And just like the individual For My card accounts, the group, it has a QR code, and the group can connect its social media as well.
Wow, that's
amazing.
something I just learned. Fabulous. I look forward to learning more about that feature as well. That so really it's not a cost, it's a value to use For My card. If you got one deal, one client, one customer,
you pay for 10 years.
Yeah, you paid for 10 years. And also that ability to do groups like that. Wow, is that ever powerful? Wow. And the speed networking, some of the networking groups charge that much a month or more just to be part of their networking. And here you get that for a year.
Yes, it's a lot and you can see statistics. Ugh, it's easy for me to say. You can go and see what's getting the most clicks and how many are new or recurring. You can see how many in the year, but how many are unique for that like year, a month, week.
Absolutely. One thing I noticed, just so everyone notices, it can be .net or .com on the For My card. They're both go to the same place, which is really amazing. And I just say to everyone listening to this, make sure to check it out. There's a 30-day free trial. How can you go wrong with that? And once you've tried it, you're not want to go back. That's for sure.
You'll get a 13-month year.
That's amazing. That is amazing. Carolyn, you are such a pro. We so appreciate you and look forward to always being in touch. And definitely in future, the story van is going to hit your town and we're going for a glass of wine.
Yeah. I cannot wait. You were in my head. I was like, yes. And then when you drive that RV to Tybee Island, we have a RV park right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I think maybe we need to wrap around our story van, don't you?
Or at least a QR code.
Yeah, big QR code on the back of the RV.
You know how big you want it.
Yeah, so the police cruisers can just take a shot of the QR code and send the ticket there.
In your text, I emailed you your ticket.
Yeah, I've got a few photos of vehicles in the mail.
We do have to tell a short story. It was Georgia, I do believe. We were driving along.
Yeah, we were heading towards Savannah.
Mm-hmm.
We were about 60 miles outside of Savannah.
And we were scooting right along in the fast lane.
We were going at least 70 miles an hour in the middle lane. I like the middle lane.
The middle lane, okay.
Yeah. And, okay.
Suddenly, a red sports car zooms by us.
Went on the left side of us.
And we were already going 70. I mean, it was just like the movies. And then suddenly, just like the movies, 20 cop cars.
Boo, 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 boo. went shooting by, driving on the shoulder, driving and by left and right of us.
And so I figured, I wonder how many miles it'll be before we see that car again. And sure enough, it was about 10 miles and they had him off the side of the road. But so I just got to say, Carolyn, your state is a wild and crazy place.
Yeah.
I think they're very, I've heard a lot about tickets and things. So drive the speed limit in Georgia.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
We had some of the best barbecue in America.
Best barbecue in America in Georgia.
Do you remember
we stopped off at this place called Metter, Georgia.
Uh-huh.
And then the town logo was it's better and Metter.
It's better and Metter.
And we stayed at this really delightful RV park, and we were the only people ever to leave.
Yes.
And they said, "Well, go down to Uncle Buck's barbecue."
Let's see where there's.
It says,
big racks.
No, hot chicks.
Big
racks and smoking butts. Enough said. We should have bought the T-shirt.
Anyway, so if anybody wants to know about Georgia, Carolyn Williams and For My Card can help you out there, and make sure to check it out because it is the tool of the future. Family-owned business, U.S. family-owned business. Let's give them some support and love, and it will better your business.
Thank y'all. That's so nice.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Carolyn. And we'll see you down the line.
See you down the line.
Come to Tabby.
Okay.